Hey everybody, Ian here with Simpawtico Dog Training. We're starting a new program on the channel today called Shelter Stories. Now, last January, I was offered a position with the Chemung County Humane Society and SPCA as their Canine Behavior and Training Manager. And I thought it would be kind of cool to document some of the things we do with enrichment and rehabilitation. Today, we're going to start with a story about a very special lady named Bailey. Bailey is an 8-year-old Shepherd mix surrendered by elderly owners in Virginia who were no longer able to care for her. Having been transported up to us just 24 hours after being surrendered, she was totally overwhelmed. Every dog is stressed out by the shelter experience, but Bailey was especially fearful. One of the first things after her intake was to take her for a walk, but she wouldn't even come out of the back of a run.
Sweetheart? I know, honey. I know, sweetheart. I know, baby.
Bailey was showing textbook signs of fear, including licking her lips, yawning, side glances, hunched head and shoulders, and various appeasement gestures to ward off perceived danger. I came into her run slowly and turned sideways to try and minimize my potentially scary silhouette.
I know, it's so scary. Very scary. You ready, sweetie? Come on, okay?
Out on her first walk here, she seemed to enjoy the space and freedom. I knew that outdoor activity was going to be one of our linchpins with her. In this initial walk to get acquainted, I didn't try to touch her or make her do much more than just move with me.
No, it's okay, baby. See, I'm not even going to try to touch her yet. She's just not ready. Yeah, good girl, honey.
Bailey hasn't eaten in the last 24 hours since she's been here, and I have a feeling that a lot of that is just due to her high level of stress. I know that stress suppresses appetite, so she hasn't eaten any of her rudimentary work to eat meals. She hasn't eaten out of a bowl. We've tried hot dogs and fresh pet and really palatable stuff, and she's just not buying in. So I'm gonna try taking her out for a walk. I want to get her out from the confined space and get her some fresh air, and I'm hoping that if I can metabolize some of those stress chemicals with a little activity, then maybe she'll take a little good food from me on one of the trails back here, or before we go back in, just something to get her get some nutrition into her. So we'll see what happens. On this second day, Bailey was not as eager to walk, and she was terrified. Her stress had reached an apex. We did get her walking, and although she wouldn't take food, she did appear to eat some food later on that we'd left overnight.
There you go, sweetheart.
The next day, it was time to pull out the stops. First thing I did was try to help her calm down and get to know me in a low-impact, non-threatening way. I just camped outside her run and read to her. I just wanted the steady sound to help ease her into feeling better about being in her run and for someone to be in front of the run interacting with her. As you can see, she wasn't too sure to begin with, but she eventually started to relax.
Need to derive reasonably robust values for these key test parameters. Even if a single solid
Formal canine behavior evaluation is unknown, but results from one online convenience sample of mostly small private shelter organizations indicated that about 25% of the organizations used one, with most of those, 60%, using a test. That's a good girl, baby. Yeah, right there. Right there on the shoulders. Right there on the shoulders, Mama.
That's a good girl, honey. Bailey was again starting to love her walks. She was getting to know the kennel staff and would come alive when she came out of her run. All of the dogs get 3 walks a day, and this was definitely her favorite part. By now, she'd started to warm up enough, and she'd built enough confidence that I knew it was time to bring her into the break room. Finally, it appeared she knew she was going to be okay. Now, this moment right here was significant to me because she initiated contact with our executive director, Tom, whom she'd previously been very scared of. This, to me, although brief, signaled a tremendous boost in her confidence and curiosity. Coincidentally, the weather had cleared up and it was time for her to spend time in the activity pen, an idea that she readily agreed with.
Puppy playing.
Oh, there's a good girl. She says, let's get going. Hi, honey. Oh, sweetest baby. You're such a good girl, honey. Yes.
He's not the sharpest crayon in the box.
Hi, honey.
Hi. She's like, hey, wait, attention. It's okay.
Good job, guys.
Good job. Elise, hello, honey. Hello, honey.
No longer fearful in her run, Bailey was finally ready for the public. We got her into a bigger run on the adoption floor, and I suspected this would also help give her a boost. We continued her work to eat meals for enrichment, playtimes with other dogs, and of course, her walks. Hi, sweetie. You're such a good girl. What is it?
Good job.
She's like, is there a dog over here?
I've had
Bailey.
3 and 4 years, and
Beautiful
To be very
girl.
honest, when I lived up in Bradford in Schuyler County, I had a dog up there for 11 years.
You're a good girl,
growing
Bailey.
up,
You're a
we-
good girl,
we
Bailey.
Very seldomly did
Little
we ever
Bailey.
license our dogs. I mean, they were up to date on
Come on, Bailey, this way. Come on, baby. Good girl. Good girl, babe. Okay. Come on, sweetie. Good girl. Good girl, sweetie. Let's go this way. This way. Come on. Good girl, honey. Bailey blossomed into such an awesome girl, and it was so rewarding for all of us to see her become happier and more carefree. A shelter, though, is no place for such an awesome dog. Bailey was soon adopted by a loving couple. Nearly 3 weeks after leaving her old life, Bailey had a new beginning. Well, all right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed seeing Bailey's story, and I hope you enjoyed watching that progression from fear to adoptability. One thing I want to mention, though, is that I am by no means a one-man band in these situations. Working with a dog like Bailey would be absolutely impossible unless it was a full-court press. And so this is a shout-out to all of my awesome coworkers and colleagues that keep that work going day in and day out. Definitely give some love to your local shelters and rescues. I know that they deserve it, and I know they'd appreciate it. Until our next video, guys, give us a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, and as always, keep learning, keep practicing, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.